way that Cheng Yi didn't add liuli to his affirmation enjoys its benefits, however Yuan Bingyan's confirmation likewise enjoys its benefits. Many individuals know all about the old undying show Liuli, which was a marvelous hit in 2020. The show was an enormous hit, and the male and female heroes, Cheng Yi and Yuan Bingyan, were both famous simultaneously, which is truly noteworthy. The couple's first experience is a famous one, and it's one of the most well-known in the CP field. Following 2 years, Cheng Yi and Yuan Bingyan have headed out in a different direction. Without this show, they wouldn't be where they are today. Notwithstanding, because of Yuan Bingyan, the show Liuli has been dependent upon some contention and has turned into an idea for them. The upside of not adding the magnum opus liuli to Cheng Yi's accreditation is that it evades debate. Each famous entertainer needs a work of art to truly establish themselves, not that the magnum opus is so exemplary, however to demonstrate that the showstopper has recently spread the word about its name for additional individuals. The Glaze is unquestionably a showstopper of Cheng Yi Yuan Bingyan, bringing them incalculable traffic and being driven into the camp of famous entertainers and entertainers. In view of Yuan Bingyan's organization's tax avoidance, liuli has turned into a persistent issue for everyone. Certain individuals don't maintain that it should be taken disconnected on the grounds that they would rather not lose the opportunity of a subsequent brush. Another part believes that it should be taken disconnected, chiefly due to Yuan Bingyan. One might say that the show Liuli has turned into a contention between Cheng Yi and Yuan Bingyan, and one might say that the show is famous and there are many privileges and wrongs. Luckily, Cheng Yi has not added liuli to his confirmation starting from the start, in any event, during the period when it was circulated as a success, though no one can easily explain why. Presently it has turned into an insightful move, since it wasn't added so it got away from part of the debate, as though the show didn't have anything to do to pass the time, and regardless of whether something happened to Yuan Bingyan it wouldn't include him. Obviously there is actually compelling reason need to cause problems. It's smarter to zero in on your own vocation than whatever else. It's really not necessary to focus on you. Moreover, with Cheng Yi's ongoing turn of events, he actually has hit shows, for example, Melody with the King, The South Wind Knows My Will, and The Fragrance of the Sun, so he isn't shy of a showstopper, liuli. Not expounding on this show doesn't imply that the show doesn't have Cheng Yi by the same token. Specifically, Shen Xiangru Krum has as of late stirred things up around town, and its prominence has stayed high for some time, turning into one more of his marvelous film and TV shows soon. The co-star is Yang Zi once more, a previous partner of Cheng Yi. In actuality, Yuan Bingyan added liuli to his affirmation and kept it after the occurrence. It is as yet held and isn't supposed to be nonchalantly erased from now on. After such countless years in media outlets, Yuan Bingyan genuinely should at least have a good film and TV showstopper. Yuan Bingyan holds liuli in her certificate, with the advantage of added memory focuses. Obviously, Yuan Bingyan wouldn't even come close to erasing the magnum opus liuli, which is entirely defenseless. When erased, then, at that point, Yuan Bingyan would have no memory focuses at all, which is exceptionally horrible in media outlets. The organization's tax avoidance occurrence has extraordinarily impacted Yuan Bingyan's profession, and no accomplice really considers helping out her at this stage, so it's difficult to say when things will improve, so she can stay away from the tempest and hang tight for it to pass. The organization's openness will undoubtedly fall, and it wouldn't even play with the possibility of coming out effectively, as it will be reprimanded once it is. Under such conditions, it would be impulsive for Yuan Bingyan to erase liuli. What's to come is unsure, so erasing her work of art is looking for her own demise, covering her own reality in media outlets with her own hands. On the off chance that you don't have a memory, how might you foster your vocation subsequently? A magnum opus is a subject of discussion, and after some time it can basically be a rush of memory killing, pulling your own fame. While searching for an entertainer, individuals in the business will initially see what hit series she has been in and whether she has any marvelous works of art. This is obviously written in the certificate to enlighten the accomplice concerning her presentation and that she has a work of art to show for it. Besides, it likewise underscores the job and develop the magnum opus mark. One might say that liuli is Yuan Bingyan's ongoing life-saving straw, and it is the most accessible film and TV work. I truly wouldn't even come close to erasing it. When I erase it, I am nothing, and the stream will be quicker. As a general rule, Cheng Yi can dispose of the magnum opus liuli, and there are different works for gift. However, Yuan Bingyan can't yet, and requirements to keep on eating channel benefits. 02. Cheng Yi, who has been obscure for a long time after his presentation, how might he conquer capital and become Prince Huanru? How wrong is Cheng Yi, who sat idle yet was admonished on the hot pursuit? How wrong is Cheng Yi, who sat idle yet was chastened on the hot inquiry? In 2020, the Xiangsha show Liuli held the last Cloud Tune party, yet in this short 2-hour live transmission, the male hero Cheng Yi was admonished for 8 dark hot looks for an activity against the female hero Yuan Bingyan. Kama lost almost 100,000 fans in a couple of hours, and went from one blast to another short term. The significant promoting accounts mutually gave an official statement, saying that his quality was very low, he didn't regard ladies, had no expert morals, and had no courteous disposition, and, surprisingly, constrained the courageous woman Yuan Bingyan to cry. Yuan Bingyan was quick to send treats. Simply taking a gander at the moves made by these records, it appears to be that Cheng Yi is actually an offensive lowlife, yet is this actually the situation? Clearly Cheng Yi and Yuan Bingyan were standing separated from one another all along. In the later intuitive meeting, Yuan Bingyan was quick to post treats, saying that she accepted that the couple who met interestingly would live it up in her equal reality. The CP fans were energized and shouted over and over, yet when the camera went to Cheng Yi, they quickly poured a bowl of cold water on the CP fans. In addition to the fact that nobody answered, however, even their appearances were dependably cold and aloof. The host tracked down it unseemly and requested that he say a couple of words. He didn't specify his accomplice Yuan Bingyan by any stretch of the imagination, as though he was exceptionally nauseated with Yuan Bingyan. Yuan Bingyan kissed him decisively before the camera. Perhaps it was during the past fan meeting, Yuan Bingyan kissed him without timidity before the camera. Around then, the host requested the two from them to re-establish the kiss scene in the play. Initially, Cheng Yi needed to sit down. All things considered, this was only a normal fan meeting, and it was anything but a genuine recording scene. Expert. However, I didn't expect that Yuan Bingyan would have rather not sat down by any means. It was a strong kiss. Cheng Yi was clearly shocked by Yuan Bingyan. Perhaps it was a result of this, so she treated Yuan Bingyan in different ways. Keep away from doubt, yet Cheng Yi never envisioned that his subliminal way of behaving of keeping away from doubt nearly made his decade of difficult work go to squander. Cheng Yi, who has been obscure for a long time after his presentation, how might he defeat capital and become the prince of Huanrui today? Liuli caused Cheng Yi to understand the change from glue to fire all at once. In 2020, one-step liuli was conceived, which caused Cheng Yi to understand the change from glue to fire all at once. The warmth and delicacy of the male hero Yu Sifeng made Cheng Yi the august bone in the hearts of endless fans. As a matter of fact, what many individuals don't know is that this young fellow who looks youthful and attractive has really appeared for quite some time. Cheng Yi, previously known as Fu Shiki, was brought into the world in Hunan in 1990 and moved on from the performance department of the Central Academy of Drama in 2012. Following decade of introduction, Cheng Yi's acting karma isn't excellent. In his sophomore year, he partook in Yu Zheng's beauty world. He played Feng Xiaobao, a watchman of the castle, in the play. Around then, it was Yu Zheng's rush hour, and the play in his grasp likewise had high traffic and crowd. Despite the fact that Cheng Yi's part in the play is just a little supporting job, and he doesn't have an excessive number of scenes and features, he is formally appearing in any case. In any case, in the initial decade, Cheng Yi's acting karma was not generally excellent, and he could take on a few minor supporting jobs or play stunts. What truly began to get him consideration was the job of Lin Jingyu in the TV series Hughes and King Guyon's He. What truly began to get him consideration was the job of Lin Jingyu in the TV series Hughes and King Guyon's He. Lin Jingyu and the hero Zhang Xianfan were adolescents' close companions. They were canny and rowdy. They likewise had a grievous valuable encounter tantamount to that of the male hero. Thusly, around then, Cheng Yi was additionally preferred by numerous male secondaries. In 2018, Cheng Yi played Zhang Qiling in Hao Mingheo's Tomb Raiders, which likewise acquired broad consideration at that point. Cheng Yi depended at the intersection of Sifeng and Liuli to become well-known. In 2020, Cheng Yi prevailed with regards to becoming well-known with the job of Sifeng and Liuli. A decade of difficult work were going to present to him the products of triumph. Startlingly, he was beaten back by the courageous woman Yuan Bingyan's teasing control unique structure. However, luckily, Yuan Bingyan actually endured the fallout eventually, on the grounds that she was prohibited for tax avoidance, and Cheng Yi additionally totally enrolled Snow, and when he tied Yang Zi, his assets expanded subjectively. For what reason is it said that Agar would his like morsels since Yang Zi brought the espresso down to convey the car seat for Cheng Yi? For what reason is it said that agar would his like morsels since Yang Zi brought the espresso down to convey the vehicle seat for Cheng Yi? Cheng Xiang Rudin can be supposed to be a notable enormous DP in the business. Notwithstanding counterfeiting, the plot has even been changed by sorcery. The play is delivered by Huan Ru. The male hero has settled on Cheng Yi, who is under this organization, promptly in the first part of the day. However, the female hero's true declaration can be depicted as a flood of three. It was delivered, however not long after the news spread, it was emphatically gone against by fans. Yang Zi turned into their sought-after object. Before long, it was even reputed that even the boot stage that had recently been set up was destroyed, and abruptly the courageous woman couldn't be found to watch. This made Huan Rui restless, so he began his own enormous scope show activity. In the first place, there was an unexpected news that the show party was in touch with Bai Lu and Zheng Yuxi, and the most obvious one was Bai Lu. Startlingly, the authority finished straightforwardly and insulted him, saying that Bai Lu wouldn't acknowledge the show. Huan Rui had no real option except to zero in on the female craftsman under her family, and Yang Zi turned into their sought-after object. How might the frivolous battles of fans offset the force of capital? All things considered, Yang Zi actually has somewhat of a prosperous constitution on her body, and she can likewise hold Cheng Yi by the way when she goes out on the run, which is just a multi-pronged exertion. This news likewise totally enraged Yang Zi's fans, also the nature of the play, in light of the fact that the substance of Huan Rui's plot will zero in on the male hero, and my sister is probably going to become Cheng Yi's foil. So fans changed their symbols to blacklist Huan Ru, yet how might the fans' negligible battles merit the force of capital? Yang Zi at long last assumed control over the play. Clearly Yang Zi was the person who was pulled out by Huan Rui to save the scene. Playing in this play won't help her profession in any capacity, yet individuals who blend in the circle will constantly confront numerous. It was a tough spot to ride a tiger, however luckily, Yang Zi, who has forever been kind, got along cheerfully with Cheng Yi on the set, and the two were old colleagues, and they collaborated well overall. This is the main comfort. The present sharing is here. On the off chance that you have any various perspectives on this, kindly pass on a message in the remark region to examine.